Hi guys, it's Ksenia. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing yet another body spray video. I've been on a roll with body spray videos, as you guys have seen. It seems like you guys have really been liking them in the comments, and I asked you guys in my previous video to leave me any requests for body spray videos, and you guys definitely delivered, so thank you for all of those ideas. I will definitely be taking them all into account. But one of those ideas was for me to do a top 10 or just like my favorite body sprays from Victoria's Secret, like just Victoria's Secret, because when I do these body spray videos, I mainly focus on Bath & Body Works, and the reason for that is just because I have a way bigger collection of Bath & Body Works than I do Victoria's Secret. Like, my Bath & Body Works collection is this entire row, which is completely full, and I have another one down here as well, whereas Victoria's Secret is just this top row right here. And I did go in before I filmed this video and counted all of my Victoria's Secret sprays, and I have a total of 53 body sprays from Victoria's Secret. And the ones that I'm showing you today are my top 10. It's actually a top 11, but my top 10 most favorite out of the 53 that I own. I do declutters very often because I just never like for my collection to get out of hand. So the reason why all these other ones are up here is because I obviously really love them also. It's just these top 10 in particular I love and wear the most out of my entire collection. So that is what I'm showing you guys today. So this is an entirely Victoria's Secret video, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Before we get into this video, please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and turn your post notifications on, and let's get started. So a lot of the body sprays I'm going to show you in this are kind of like the core line body sprays that you can pretty much get all year round. Like, they're not like the new collections and all that. I do have some of those in here, like about half of them are also just like the flankers and all the new collections that they bring out for different seasons, but I feel like the majority of it is like the core line. So most of these you can literally go into Victoria's Secret store and buy right now. Let's get started with body spray number 1 in no particular order. This is one I don't think I've talked about much on my channel, but I really love this spray. This is called Hot Florals. Recently, I've kind of just been making it a point to really try to use and love my collection, because I tend to kind of stick to the ones that I really love, and I just show all my love to those scents. And then there's some scents where like I like them, but I just don't gravitate to them as much as like my loved ones. So I've recently been going into my collection and just pulling out scents that I normally don't use, and this has been a huge love of mine within the past, I would say, 2 weeks, which is why I'm including it in this video, because I feel like out of all my body sprays, I've been kind of gravitating to this one. And what I really don't like about Victoria's Secret sprays is that they don't show like all of the notes in the back. Like, Bath & Body Works will give you all the notes in the fragrance, but Victoria's Secret has like these weird poems in the back. Like, they'll give you a couple notes and then they'll say some sort of like saying or something following. But the only notes that are in here are orange flower and blonde woods, and then it says feel the sun heat your skin. And that's all you get. It's definitely more of a summer scent. I believe it came out in the summer, but to be honest, I have no idea when I bought this. But I really love this. It kind of gives me like almost guava vibes or some sort of like summery fruits, tropical fruits type of thing. Definitely gives me like, you know, sitting in the sun, soaking in the sun rays type of feel, very summery. But at the same time, I feel like it's a scent that could take you from like laying at the beach to even going out for dinner type of thing. Like, I feel like it's a versatile scent. It's not too body spray-ish, you know, like that overly fruity basic body spray type of scent. I feel like this one offers a little bit more than that. I think the florals in mixture with the blonde woods in here, I think they're what really elevates the scent from being just like a basic fruity tropical type of scent. I think it definitely offers more. I'm not sure if you can still get this in a store currently, but something I will tell you is that if any of these scents are not currently in the store, you can find them on Mercari. You can find them on, I don't know, different sellers that sell them online. Like, even though they are discontinued from the actual store, you can still find them if you really wanted to. Next up, this is Berry Elixir. I loved this entire line, and actually a really close second to this is the Rouge Elixir. I also really love that one, but just for the sake of kind of condensing this video into like a top 10, I went with this one because I just like this a little bit more. It's obviously called Berry Elixir, and if you've been following me, you know berries are like my favorite notes. And I believe this whole line, this whole collection was kind of like a perfumey type of body spray, where I think they were supposed to be like body sprays that kind of give you that perfume like scent. That's why they were called like number 16, like the same way that a perfume would be. So the mixology of this is vanilla bourbon, muddled berries, and sensational high. Again, I don't know. The last one is just one of those weird phrases that Victoria's Secret likes to add in their notes, but at least you know you're getting vanilla bourbon and muddled berries, which are two of my favorite notes ever, and that's basically kind of what this smells like. This scent to me is very reminiscent of Mix Bar's vanilla bourbon perfume that you can get at Target, which I really love. It's just this one is more berry-like and just like a little bit fruitier and just a little bit more brighter, but I think especially in the dry down the two are very similar, which is why this combination, like this and the Mix Bar vanilla bourbon, are an amazing fragrance combination. If you pair these two up, they smell so good. And this body spray in particular, like this entire line, I found to be really good longevity wise. Like they actually lasted a good amount of time and they just were stronger scents. This smells so good. It's literally a perfect blend of vanilla bourbon and berry. This is a classic, and this is from the pink line, but it's still Victoria's Secret. And I feel like I've been talking about this in like my past few videos very recently, so I'm sorry to keep being repetitive with it, but if I like a scent, I'm gonna continue to talk about it, and this is definitely in my top 10 Victoria's Secret mists, or Victoria's Secret pink, whatever. This is of course Warm and Cozy. Warm and Cozy has been out forever and ever, and it's still a scent that you can literally go into the store and buy right now, so they've kept it for a reason. It's just a scent that has a huge following and it has just stood the test of time. Warm and Cozy is exactly kind of what it sounds like. The fragrance notes in here are, well, the only thing that is listed is soft vanilla, but I'm pretty sure that there is coconut as well in here. It's not the type of coconut that's tropical. It's like a very toasty, creamy, warm, sweet coconut scent. It just kind of adds a level of creaminess in here and just that more like edible coconut, almost like a gourmand coconut rather than tropical. And then in mixture with the vanilla, obviously it's even more creamy and even more warm and just cozy. This is my go-to bedtime scent. I love wearing this with its lotion. I pair the two together and I will smell like this all night. And when you wake up in the morning or you're like tossing in your sheets throughout the night, you can constantly smell the scent and it's just so good. But I don't just wear this to bed. I also think it's a really nice scent to just wear, not necessarily out and about if you're gonna do like an actual, you know, event, or like you're going to an actual like dinner or lunch. I don't think I would wear this necessarily, just because I feel like the way that I've used it has always been in more of like a cozy manner, like if I'm snuggling up watching a movie or like going to bed, like I said. But I could use this if it was like a rainy day and I don't know, I was going to like a coffee shop to do my work. That's kind of like what I use this for. I use it more for like cozy days because it makes me feel warm and cozy. And the scent is super complimented. Like people love warm and cozy. You'll love warm and cozy, like you'll love to smell like it, but the people around you will also love when you smell like warm and cozy. Next up is Nectar Agave. I think this is another summer collection that came out, I think last year if I'm not mistaken. Honestly, anything that's sweet and berries, if I see that in the title of any type of scent, I'm most likely gonna buy it. And I fell in love with this scent because it's just such a sugary berry scent, but it also has fresh agave in here. And the mixture is just like almost like candy fruits. There's something about this that reminds me a bit of Velvet Petals, which I think is a big reason why I absolutely love this, because Velvet Petals is my number one. Like that is my number one scent. You'll see it later on in this collection, but that is my number one most favorite Victoria's Secret, I would say even Bath and Body Works scent. Like Velvet Petals is just my number one, but I think that's why I love this so much. But I would say it's just more berries and then it has that agave like I said, so there is like something summery about this because of that agave scent. It's just so like uplifting but sweet but berry like, and then it has a little bit of that like sweet Velvet Petals sort of scent in it, and I just love it. I pair it up with basically any sweet perfume. Like whatever it is, I'll pair the scent up. I've used it in a lot of scent layering combinations and I love it. Next we have Coconut Passion. I love this coconut scent. I am not one to love strictly coconut scents anymore. I used to be so obsessed with them when I was younger. I was into like the really heavy coconut, like that really tropical, really sunscreen type of coconut. Like that was my vibe, and I think because I overused it for so many years, eventually I just got like sick and tired of the scent. And Coconut Passion is like the perfect coconut fragrance ever. So it's definitely a tropical scent, and you can definitely smell the coconut, but it is such a creamy coconut, and I would say it's also equally mixed with like this really creamy vanilla type of scent in it, almost like a whipped cream, like really, really sweet, creamy scent. That just makes this so wearable for me and so complimented. And there's also like a slight perfumey aspect about this. There is a warm sands. No, I'm not really sure what that means, but I don't know if that's coming from like maybe a woody note or what, but this is such a sexy coconut scent. Like, don't think of this as just like a basic coconut body spray. I feel like this has something in it that is really, really special and something that definitely stands out when it comes to these types of coconut scents. Obviously, there is a million coconut body sprays that Bath & Body Works has done, and even Victoria's Secret, but out of all of them, Coconut Passion is just the best. So I highly recommend Coconut Passion, especially for the summertime coming up. You are going to be smelling so good with this scent. Next up, I have Rush. So I have multiple bottles of Rush, and the way that I actually discovered this scent was actually on a cruise. You know how cruises have those little duty-free shops, and I think one day we were just walking around and I went into one of those shops and I saw that they have Victoria's Secret. Randomly enough, I'm like, what? And not only did they have Victoria's Secret, but they had like a lot of discontinued Victoria's Secret mists, and I saw Rush, and this had been a scent that I had known about, but I've never, it's been discontinued, so I've never been able to find it. And when I saw it there, I was like, oh my god, I have to have that. So I bought like multiples of these, and then I bought, I think the other scent that I bought was Romantic, and that was pretty good too. But Rush I fell in love with, and I used it the remainder of that cruise. I used it every single day. I used to wear all the perfumes that I brought, and it went with everything. It smelled so good, and now every time I spray this out, it reminds me of that cruise vacation that I had. But as far as the scent, I mean, how do I explain Rush? It's sweet, but there's a level of freshness in here. It says, in the back it says it's sultry woods and midnight mandarin. So there's something uplifting, bright, and like citrusy about it. I'm guessing because of the midnight mandarin. But the sultry woods, like, what I like about it is that it's not just a basic bright, fresh citrus scent. The sultry woods kind of adds this sultry scent to it, like a sexy scent. It kind of amplifies it from just being like a basic body spray. It kind of gives it that little oomph, that little, I want to say complete perfume vibe, but I don't know, there's just something really, really good in here, and it doesn't smell like any other body spray that I have. Like, I think it's pretty unique. Like I said, I brought many perfumes to that vacation, and I used to wear this with every single one of them. Like, this would be like my first layer. Every time I would wear a perfume on that cruise, I would drench myself in this, and then I would put whatever perfume I had on top, and I just smelled so delicious the entire day. And then of course, Midnight Bloom. I think I recently talked about this. I don't even remember what video I did recently, but I recently-ish talked about Midnight Bloom, and I had to include it in this video because it's definitely within my top 10 Victoria's Secret mists. This is like a really, really great dupe to Baccarat Rouge. I think it smells super, super similar, especially considering it's a body spray, so it's literally a fraction of the cost of the $350 price point of Baccarat Rouge, and this is so freaking sexy. Every time I wear this, I get a compliment. It has moonflower and creamy woods. Honestly, I'm convinced at this point that if a scent has woods, some type of woody note in it, it's sexy and I love it. I just tend to really, really love woody scents. I told this story before, but I'll tell it again in case you're new. But when I first discovered this, I used to work at Target like a few years back. And every time I used to wear this to work, I would get millions of compliments. I would get complimented from my coworkers. I would get complimented from just random customers that would walk by or like come to ask me a question. Like, they would smell this and they'd be like, oh my god, what perfume do you have on? Because it definitely smells like a perfume. It does not give off like cheap body spray vibes at all. So I highly recommend Midnight Bloom. I feel like this is one of the more underrated Victoria's Secret scents. Like, when I first discovered this, I felt like nobody was talking about this, and I think this is within their core line, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure you can still like just walk into the store and buy this even now, but I just feel like nobody talks about this, and this is such a good scent. Like, it's definitely an underrated scent, but also should be underrated because I don't want like everybody finding out about this and then it gets sold. I'm gonna briefly talk about Bare Vanilla because I know I speak about it in like every single video. Layer it with all my perfumes. Like, it is just a constant in my rotation. It's like constantly what I smell like. I feel like this is almost like a signature scent of mine, but Bare Vanilla is just such a huge love for me. This is one of the best, if not the best, vanilla body sprays, and honestly, even perfume wise, like I feel like this is just one of the best ways that vanilla has ever been done, and I will stand behind that. There's just something about this. It does not smell cheap. It's not that weird, cheap, synthetic, just weird vanilla. It's whipped vanilla and soft cashmere, and I think that soft cashmere just kind of gives this like this woody element, this sexy element. It kind of has this sultry vibe. It's almost a little bit smoky. I wouldn't say smoky. It's almost like toasty. Like the vanilla is just slightly toasted, but the vanilla is still overshadowing that toasty sort of scent. It's just, it adds like this sexiness to it, and I don't know how to explain it, but every time I wear it, like I'm always able to like smell myself the entire day, and I mix this a ton. Like this is a constant, and I think this mixes so well. The only thing that I would change about this fragrance is not about the scent, but I would definitely change how strong it is. It's definitely more of like a skin scent, more of like an intimate scent. Like it's not something that you're gonna walk into a room and everybody will smell you. Maybe at first, like if you just spray this on, then yeah, because the scent is a little bit stronger. But after a while of having this, it's not really a scent that will necessarily project. But if you were to like walk past somebody and just the scent that lingers, you'd definitely be able to smell this. And it is such a like alluring, intoxicating vanilla scent. It's such a sexy vanilla scent. I mix it with literally everything. Well, maybe not everything. Like I mix it with scents that are a little bit sweeter. I just want to add that vanilla touch to them. Like I wouldn't mix this with like Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. Okay, you knew it was coming. Velvet Petals. I'm not even gonna talk about this. We know what Velvet Petals smells like. It is literally the best scent of all time. I would have to say like my top 2 fragrances ever would probably be Velvet Petals and Bare Vanilla, like as far as body mist. And I recently found the perfume version of Velvet Petals, which I've literally been searching for my entire life, because Velvet Petals is like my favorite scent ever. And I feel like I always said if I could have the perfume version of this, I would literally not need a single other perfume, and I found it. Found the perfume version of Velvet Petals. It's literally the best perfume I have ever smelled in my life. And of course I will talk to you guys about it, but once I get my hands on that, I will be unstoppable. I cannot wait to talk to you guys about that fragrance, because it's literally like the best scent I've ever smelled. And some of you guys actually guessed it, because when I mentioned Velvet Petals in a previous video and I told you that I found a scent that smells a lot like it, a lot of you guys guessed in the comments what that perfume was. But I'm still not saying it, because I will wait until the day I have it in my hands to actually talk about it. Another big love of mine is Pure Seduction Crystal. I remember when I first hauled this, I was absolutely obsessed with this, and when I bought it, I went crazy. I think I bought like 4 of these, which is embarrassing to say. I don't do that anymore. In fact, I don't even remember the last time I even bought a body spray. Like it's been a minute. I've definitely calmed down from my craze of just going crazy and buying multiples. But when I bought this, I was just like, oh my god, I have to get this. And knowing that it was just limited edition collection, I was like, I have to get a bunch. Like that needs to last me. That's like literally the best scent I've ever smelled. And it still is. I still stand by that. But I have worn it now a few times, so I'm not as... Not that I'm not as in love with it, but I'm kind of just more used to the scent, you know what I mean? This has Ruby Pear and Violet Orchid in it. And something I'll tell you right now, it does not smell anything like the original Pure Seduction. Pure Seduction and Love Spell are 2 of my very least favorite fragrances, but Pure Seduction Crystal smells nothing like it. This smells like pear and melon had a baby. Like it smells like pear and melon. It's so juicy. It's like mouth-watering. Every time I smell this, it makes me crave pear and melon, and I haven't had melon in so long, now that I'm thinking about it. But it's making me like just want a big bowl of melon right now, because that's what it smells like. This smells like the melon haichu. It literally smells like what that candy tastes like. And then the very last scent, this scent, I don't know if it's still within their core line, but it was. I don't know if they took it away. I'm not sure what the deal is with this, but this is Amber Romance, and I really like this. I think this is a very perfumey scent. This does not smell body spray-ish. It does not smell cheap. Like it definitely gives me high-end perfume vibes, and the amber scent in here is definitely prominent. It's kind of like the main thing that you can smell. It says deep amber and sugar kisses. I don't know. Again, with the notes of Victoria's Secret, they're just weird, but it's super ambery. It's like that golden amber scent, very sexy. I've always found amber to be super, super sexy, but in a mild amount. I feel like this is like the perfect amber scent, where if it was just a little stronger than this, I wouldn't like it, because I'd be like, whoa, that's like way too mature, because I do feel like amber can tend to do that. Like if it's in a really, really high dose, amber, to me personally, in my experience, amber can come across really, really mature, but I feel like this is the perfect amount of it, where it's not too much and it's not too little. But it's definitely like pretty prominent, and it's like the main thing you smell. So if you were to be like a huge fan of amber scents, I think you would love this. But it's like a very sweet amber. It has this creaminess to it. It has depth. It's easily like a date night sort of fragrance, but it is on the more mature side, I will say that. Like this is not your more juvenile body spray. Like this one will give you that mature, seductive, sexy sort of ambery feel. So yeah, I really, really am a big, big fan of amber romance. And that concludes today's video. These were my top 10, top 11 really, but top 10 Victoria's Secret mists. These are my favorite mists from Victoria's Secret out of my entire collection. I obviously love all of those at the top also, but these are like, if I could only pick 10, it would be these. Let me know any other body spray videos or just videos in general you would want to see from me. Leave them in the comments. But that is it for me today. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!